Hello, this is The Way of Fairness. My name is Stephen Childs. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Except if that's not true. So when you make an assertion, when you make a claim of something, you create the opposite possibility, the other possibility. Sometimes there's more than one. So I've been listening to Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind again on audio. It's on YouTube. Peter Coyote reads it, and it's really good. I've listened to it many times. I've read the book many times. When things are absolutely not making any sense, that's my go-to book to find refuge in becoming the big mind instead of the small mind. Our ordinary self is the small mind, and the big mind includes everything. So it's like superdeterminism. I'm atheist, so it's not God, but it's like as if there was a God that had all power. It's like that. But I don't think there is one. But what there is superdeterminism, the block universe. And you can Google this stuff and find out what I'm talking about. Reality is created complete with all the past and all the future simultaneously. One thing. That's the big mind. Our small mind that connects to that fact, if it is the fact, that's the big mind. It's the small mind connected to the block universe. And our identity is the block universe. It's no longer our individual self. So it's kind of like a ego rejection. We reject the ego self. It has to take the back seat. It's still here, ready to give us trouble any time we buy into its perspective on reality. So, having said that, I'm going to speak what's going on with me in a very detached way, like I'm observing it happening to someone else that can get harmed, that takes life really very seriously, life and death and all this pain and pleasure stuff. It's very real, very painful, and very joyous at times. So anyway, I went to a Codependence Anonymous meeting last night. It came from 12-step. I don't go to any other 12-step meetings because of the codependence issue. So what that's about is we're dependent on someone or something that it love bombs us. We get love bombed, but it demands to be in control of us, like a narcissistic spouse. So when we have an opinion, it says, shut up. Why don't you listen? Shut up and listen. Shut up and listen to me. I'm the narcissist. And I've got all my enablers on my side, and we might have to end your life because you're not surrendering to me. And so I left before the meeting was over. They start telling me this line of thought, this thought form, that's, we're going to gang up on you and kick you out. This is what's been going on. I've been scapegoated from jobs, from meeting places. because I protest their requirement of my surrender to them, to their concept of God. I'm an atheist. So they say they're going to gang up on me and kick me out because I'm crazy. Therefore, I don't count. Whatever I say is nonsense. It's discredited because they agree on that whatever Steve says is wrong and whatever our team says is right. It's not based on truth. It's based on the narcissistic opinion that anyone who defies the narcissist will burn in hell. So the God of the Old Testament is a narcissist. The Gnostics called him the demiurge, or the archon, the unfair ruler of the world. It's been called the God of this world. So this is like a real mixed up group of people. The Gnostics were attempting to overthrow, to bring opposition to, and freedom from the unfair world rulers, the archons. And so they described this in their terms at the time when Christianity was formed. And it didn't go their way. It went the way of the government empire with the Roman Empire, Constantine. The Roman Empire took over, and the Jews were still battling the Roman Empire. But they were no longer battling the Gnostics that were defying the God of the Jews, the Old Testament. Now, not all Jews, some of the Jews were Gnostics. You see what I'm saying? So that's why Team Fairness is all the people, wherever they're at, that agree that fairness should be the ruler of all of us. So it's not a person, it's not a group of people under a lord. It's just fairness is our master. Fairness is my boss. I have to be fair to everyone. So I've surrendered to being fair to everyone. And that's what all the people in Team Fairness do that. They give themselves completely to Team Fairness. So that's like in Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, it's all about bowing to the master, the Zen master, bowing to the group. It's like bowing again and again to surrender the ego to this higher purpose. And then Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, it describes this purpose as not really a purpose, it's just surrender again and again. So that you see the perspective of the big mind rather than the small mind. The small mind stays surrendered, and when the small mind surrenders, the big mind is there by default. So he's explaining when you're trying to gain this, you lose it. You can't try to get it or you won't get it. You just have to surrender and then you have it. So with the people of the planet fighting against me and against Team Fairness, my default method is to go to the surrender to Buddha nature mode. So I'm in surrender to Buddha nature mode. And they can say, we'll kick you out. And typically these days, if I hear that thought, I just get up and leave. I don't need those people that do that to me. I'm not dependent on those that abuse me. So humans need to have a social group, a family, their spouse, their children, a group, a team. So when they try to cut us off from that, they take our children away, they take our way of making money away, they take away everything, but they can't take away our birthday. And they're in trouble because of the fact of things. Actual truth becomes their enemy. So, like The Crow, the movie The Crow, I watched the Crow movie, and the murder of the love of his life, they raped her and murdered her. The people that are anti-truth, because she represents the actual truth. This is how I change it into a form that makes sense to me, because I don't want to be romantically attached to anyone anymore, because they use that against you. If you have something you care about, they'll take it away if you don't surrender. And then they make it so rough on her that you just have to split up. So you get another broken heart. So I don't have anything. They can't really take much away from me, because they can. I want to drive Uber, but I have a record because of my addiction, alcoholism, rage addiction. What else? Because I'm opposed to the narcissistic government system and the narcissistic religion. So I always get in trouble, and I'm not on their team, so they don't have a hard time at all putting me in jail. I'm not a Donald Trump. So anyway, because of my record, I might not I want to be an Uber driver, because I've given up on the team fairness. I've given up on all that. My idea of the World Fairness Agreement, the 3-step fairness agreement, I'm not doing that anymore. So the world is just going to spiral into a destruction that they're going to create. And that's okay, because I'm not the small me, I'm the big me. I'm staying surrendered. And it's like radical acceptance. If there was a God, it would be to God's will, but I don't think there is one. It's radical acceptance to super determinism. So their fate is sealed. And because they don't do the World Fairness Agreement, their fate is extreme destruction. And I know that's true. Somebody could prove me wrong if you can. But it's like common sense. If we don't do the World Fairness Agreement, it's mass destruction ahead. The degree of destruction is increasing from the past. So maybe things get really bad, and just imagine like 90% of the humans are destroyed, and they either have access to the World Fairness Agreement and they can see, well, this is what happened. Let's make this World Fairness Agreement a thing now. And so then humans go from there, and there's no more war, and there's no more hate of each other, and there's no more poverty, and we're all providing for each other. So it's like it's going to happen one way or another. Or it might be complete extinction of human species. But in the universe, they have their form of the Universe Fairness Agreement. It's inevitable. Have a great day.